Good afternoon. My name is Kylo Goings, and I'm going to be doing my initial pitch for my game, Sound Berserkers. I'm actually doing it as a solo team, so I will be covering all of the game design, the art, and all of the development processes by myself. I will be looking for other people for testing purposes, but for the sake of development, it will be all me. So what's Sound Berserkers going to be about? Well, it's going to be about two musically empowered warriors, a warrior type berserker who uses a guitar, and an assassin type pop idol that uses double knives. Well, they were blessed by powers from the muse gods, and they're going to channel their rage and their power into their guitar and their pop idol skills in order to strike enemies at their most vulnerable, and together they're going to be an unstoppable force of destruction. They're the embodiment of power, music, and they're willing to stop at nothing to achieve their goals. And what are their goals? Let's hop into that. So, first off, the game's going to be a rated T for T game because the game does involve violence and mild language. There's not going to be any blood in the game, however, it is going to involve fighting enemies and some mild language in the video game. Hence why I decided that it would be rated T for teen, ages 13 and up. So, the kind of person that would probably be interested in playing this sort of game would be someone who is inspired by music or action or RPGs. My persona here, Chris, is 18 years old. He constantly plays music. He's into role-playing games. He likes action and adventures. He also likes things that have challenge. They have dynamic combat. They have different strategies for handling enemies. They also have different ways of changing the player's playstyle. And it also has puzzle-like ways to progress through the game. His motivations for playing the game include exploration or intense combat and complex mechanics. So the other things is that this personality type enjoys finding story elements. So they may enjoy exploring and finding what stories they can gain from the muses in their environment. Other games they might play could include like Guitar Hero, Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, etc. Any story-heavy RPG that has action-like elements, or like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time to be specific. So the platforms they would probably use would be a game console or a PC. And some other things they should probably consider is that they would actually probably recommend this game to other single-player enthusiasts who would play this game for its single-player replayability and have a group of friends to discuss the theories and inspirations derived from the game. So the gameplay loop would intend that the player would move, they would explore. When they explore, they would have a random encounter along the way. The game's meant to allow the player to discover different muses needed to progress rather than just finding a key. This is to motivate the player to explore different parts of the map in the game. The core actions would be, again, hack and slash combat. There would be a rhythm-based aspect added to the game through quick time events. Bursting enemy downs with these quick time events will create strong musical combos, and changing your combat style with your music genres will also give players different playability aspects. Some things that are goals throughout the game is one, they're really trying to defeat the Frequency Lord, who is trying to rid the world of all the muses. You're going to find the muses throughout different environment interactions. The moment-to-moment aspects will be the dynamic combat scenarios and the exploration. So some of the feedback you're going to get is the music melodies, haptic feedback from your controller, visual cues from the rhythmic time events, along with the combat including visual and auditory cues that show the impact the player has during combat, mixing in original songs using GarageBand. So the platforms they would use would probably be PC. I intend on having PlayStation controller functionality because I would want the game to be released on console. So thank you for your time. I really hope you enjoyed the game as much as I enjoyed developing it, and I look forward to any sort of feedback and questions that you may have about the project. Thank you, and take care.